Und damit willkommen zurück zu Mountains of Madness, Chronicle of Innsmouth. Nachdem wir in der letzten Folge dieses ewig lange Wald- und Drückerätsel erledigt haben, wo ich etwas länger gebraucht habe, ich hoffe, ich habe da eine schöne Folge zusammengeschnitten aus allem, stehen wir nun vor dem Eingang in diese Katakomben, wo wir schon die Cthulhu-Tür ein, zwei Mal gesehen haben, und schauen mal, was da jetzt für uns sich offenbart.
Well, all this grandeur is most unexpected. Does the cemetery's renovation have anything to do with that? The trail of blood leads through that door.
Gut, jetzt können wir die Blutspur nochmal untersuchen. Wir haben es ja vor uns zwischendurch schon mal gemacht, bis ich geladen habe.
Looks fresh. I don't want to touch.
Gut, was mag denn da drin sein? Dr. Armitage, nehme ich an.
But what? Armitage!
Lone, get out of here!
Links. Ephraim?
You did it, Lone. All has gone according to plan.
Let him go, right now!
Der Killer Achievement.
Ah!
Do you take me for a fool?
Release me now!
Leichenteile.
All in due time. All in due course.
You'll pay for this!
You have merely been assisting me so far. I knew you would do it. And with a power like yours, nothing is impossible.
What do you hope to accomplish by all this? Don't you know the magnitude of the powers you're playing with? You're insane. A madman.
You dare to call the pursuit of power madness? My master has spent numerous lifetimes to attain it. But a stupid human eliminated him, wasting centuries of knowledge. But now, all that shall be undone.
Der eine gestorben ist, getötet wurde. Oh oh, mit
Oh, finally, you are here.
What
Büchse.
are you up to? Deliver your prisoner up onto us. Your work here is done.
Who are you?
Did you really think I believed your promises? The power incarnated in that mere mortal will bring my master back to life. Together, we will dominate your swarms of insignificant insects. Even Father Dagon will bow to our will.
Ah, selbst innerhalb der ganzen Sache gibt es Probleme. Das ist das Monster, was wir also geschickt haben.
Fools! The wisdom of my master is profound and powerful. You cannot pass.
You shall not pass.
What are you doing? Halt!
Leave him alone! Damn!
Stop, you lunatic! What do you think you're doing? This is not a power you can hope to control!
Let's find out. Katla, Besha, Katla, La.
Oh! Please just...
Iklaktan.
Stop, you lunatic!
Katla, Besha, Katla, La. Iklaktan.
What's happening to him? Let's run!
Mhm. Also es sprießt etwas, nehme ich an. Oh oh. Ich glaube, die Dissidenten haben keinen Spaß mehr.
He lost his senses, his mind hazy. The pain was unbearable, but now he was finally better. Strangely better, like a hungry wolf now satiated. He could rest.
Lone. Lone, wake up. Lone, are you back with us?
Yeah. Is Armitage?
He's doing okay.
He's just unconscious.
What happened here?
We might have some ideas about that, but just focus on pulling yourself together for now. My men will transport you and Armitage to a safe place.
My man? Moment,
It's all so muddled in my head. Did I reduce those men to that state of carnage? Sure, they were a threat to us, but that gruesome scene will scar my mind forever. Luckily, we managed to save Armitage. 3 days had passed, and I felt much better. We have to meet up at Miskatonic University and take stock of the situation, given all that's happened. Ephraim, Upton, that horrible monster.
Moment, wer war das unten
Again,
links?
the meaning of all this escapes me.
I awoke splayed out and chained down.
It's absurd to even suggest that this was all planned from the start.
Not as absurd as you'd think if the dissidents are behind all this.
Hold on, who are they? And for that matter, who are you?
I'd also like to know who that madman in the catacombs was. The spell he unleashed was beyond any known power.
Yep.
I can answer the latter with ease. He was a servant of the ancient and most powerful sorcerer, Ephraim Waite. He wanted to bring his master back to life using loan.
Ephraim hab ich
Or
auch
rather,
gesagt.
the creature bound to loan by symbiosis,
Das war
as
Dino.
a catalyst.
Is that even possible? I mean, bringing the dead back to life?
Under normal circumstances, no. But with Ephraim's knowledge, and given Loan's condition, we believe it is at least plausible. We may never know for sure.
You knew all this and still sent us straight into the lion's den?
That's right. And I apologize for that. But there was something we needed to verify. We would never have allowed anything to happen to you.
Yeah, right. I don't trust you an inch.
Gentlemen, please calm down. Their methods may be questionable, but I do not doubt their commitment to the cause.
What cause?
What are you talking about?
Armitage, you can't mean that.
All in due time. Time that we cannot afford to spare right now. Lone, you are in danger. They know of your mutation, of your condition unique in all of history. They will hunt you down.
I was there all alone in the caves under Innsmouth. Yet, it seems my situation is public knowledge. Unless... Elliot.
Suffice it to say that we knew of you well before Armitage contacted us. We had thought to simply eliminate you, but our superiors decided otherwise.
Thanks a bunch for letting me live.
Besides, after having now just seen you in action, that may have been a more troublesome operation than we expected.
Stop right there. We don't kill people. We are the good guys.
Armitage, I must disagree with you on that. We do what is necessary to preserve the human race. Individual lives, or even dozens, have no meaning to us. The important thing is the grand plan. And this is the very reason why you were never considered for recruitment. We have no use for your morals. We're dealing with forces that act under different motivations, as you may have already noticed.
Ignoring all moral standards makes us no better than them.
I agree.
Enough of all this. Armitage, tell them everything.
If anyone had heard the story disclosed in that tiny room by that small group of people, they would have thought them insane. It turned out that the group to which Aquila belonged... Yeah, you heard right. Aquila. Pretty curious, don't you think? Anyway, he called his organization the Keepers of the Key. Cool-sounding name. Very evocative. But without any real meaning. Or, at least, so they thought at that time. Blanco was fascinated. Akeley seemed to understand a lot more than the rest of them. But there was so much that the man kept to himself. They said they could help Lone. Apparently, a recent expedition to Antarctica had made a sensational discovery. Professor Lake had discovered unnatural tunnels in a place where man has set foot only in relatively recent times. The Keepers, based on their secular wisdom, were convinced that if a solution could be found, they would find it there. As usual, Aquila did not go into detail, and there was no way to learn more from him than he deemed necessary. At this point, it was a leap of faith, but what other choice did they have? Lone could tell himself that this was mere madness, but he had seen this madness in action. He could no longer deny the evidence. The only help could come from this strange cult. He couldn't continue to pretend nothing was wrong. He was too dangerous. He didn't really trust these people, but they certainly seemed less interested than the dissidents in rubbing him out. For the moment, that was enough for him. And besides, he had his new friends by his side, and believed they had no intention of leaving it. That calmed him to some extent. Their departure was scheduled for the following week. They all made preparations in a hurry. They had no idea what it would be like to face such extreme temperatures. They bought some basic equipment and warm clothing, Everything else was to be provided by the university.
Mhm, einfach so.
The greatest adventure of their lives seemed already underway, but this was only the beginning.
Good morning, Lone. And to you, William. And you, Henry. Please, let me introduce you around.
Good morning to all.
Hiya.
Hello.
Allow me to introduce Professor
Die
Lake
Nase kennen wir
to
doch
you
schon aus
all.
dem Prolog.
He is the head of the expedition. He's just back from Antarctica to attend to some business here.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have all of you on board. Akeley, good to see you again.
The sentiment is mutual, Lake.
The discovery we made is unprecedented in all of human history. I expect that your great depth of knowledge can help us learn even more.
Certainly. It'll be our pleasure to help you any way we can.
What we have uncovered is incredible. I return to retrieve the invention that will help write us into the pages of
Der
history.
Bohrer, oder?
The drill invented by Mr. Pabberty. The trip back here took what seemed like forever. But this time we will fly back. The journey will be much quicker, even if we must take landings at airports here and there. Correct, Mr. Barron?
That's right, Professor Lake. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Louis Barron, and I will be your pilot for this journey. And if needed, I am handy in a fight.
Pump the brakes on your enthusiasm, Lewis. There will be no call for fighting. Excuse him.
Stimmt.
He's an Army veteran and an excellent pilot. But let's get aboard. We have plenty of time to get everyone on the same page.
Mhm, jetzt kommen also die Sachen zusammen, alles. Na, ob seine Expedition, die dort gewesen ist, keine Probleme hatte? Dass er ohne Probleme da alles bergen konnte? Oder gab es da schon einige Übergriffe? Wer weiß. Stimmt, ich hatte den Prolog schon was wieder
They
vergessen.
left Arkham on October 2nd. They made a stopover in Honduras, and from there, the crossing of the Pacific began. They replenished their food and fuel supplies in Tasmania. The Antarctic Ocean was waiting for them, and a chill ran down their spines when they spotted the high slopes that crowned the McMurdo Sound.
Am Süden von Australien, genau. Wahnsinn, kurz. Der Berg. Muss auch sowas sein, heißt auch Mountains of Madness. Einer, der vielleicht von Cthulhu Besitz ergriffen hat, bringen wir jetzt zu einem anderen. Ich weiß nicht, ob das so das Cleverste ist, zugegebenermaßen. Ui. Nun doch. Ohne Probleme die Reise absolviert, sehr schön.
All in all, it was quite the pleasant flight. Allow me to introduce you to my student and dear friend Danforth.
A pleasure to meet you.
Oh, die ist auch
Consider
noch.
me completely at your disposal.
Nice to meet you, Danforth. Let me introduce you to my friends, William Blanco and Henry Ackley.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Danforth.
We have met before.
Welcome, Professor. Forgive me if I seem a tad brusque. There's something I need to discuss with the Professor.
Speak then, Danforth. You know how I hate subterfuge.
As you wish. Do you remember the two men who fell sick just before he left the site? After the discovery of the entrance into the mountainside?
Yes, of course I remember them.
They're dead.
Dead?
Yes, Professor. The worst thing is that we can't figure out their exact cause of death, which is why the bodies have not yet been sent home. We fear a possible contagion getting out.
Well, that's a very unpleasant situation, to say the least. Gentlemen, feel free to wander around the camp at will. And to get to know our colleagues better, I have to deal with this matter. I'll see you all later.
Of course, Professor. We'll try not to get in your way any further while you're dealing with this unfortunate situation.
Actually, on second thought, would you mind accompanying me? I would love to hear your opinion on this whole affair. Permit me to introduce you to Dyer, Professor of Geology at Miskatonic.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What, Professor? You don't introduce me?
Of course. Impatient as always, I see, my friend. My distinguished colleague Atwood of the Physics Department.
Honored to meet you, gentlemen.
The honor belongs to us.
Professor.
Forgive me, but a problem has arisen. And not an insignificant one, from what I've been told.
Yes, a great tragedy.
that it has occurred now is most unfortunate. It has spoiled the euphoria of such a landmark moment in human history.
Professor Lake filled us in during the flight. Stupendous, but also terribly frightening.
Absolutely, my friend. As much as any other discovery that has changed the destiny of mankind, although nothing else compares on this kind of level.
Gentlemen, you will see with your own eyes soon enough. For now, there are those poor guys to deal with.
No objection in any respect. I hope we can get to the bottom of all this. I wouldn't want to die from some disease before my adventure here concludes.
Very black and inappropriate humor. Dyer, you will never change. See you later. I'll be in touch.
We're headed to the mess hall for a hot drink.
Please feel free to join us if you like.
Bis bald noch sein Ding aus der anderen Welt.
After
Welche
you.
übernommen werden vielleicht noch.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Doctor.
This should be the infirmary. Or rather, the morgue, it seems.
Lone?
Good one.
I like people with a sense of humor. A rare thing to find in such remote wastelands as these. It's nice just to see some new faces, too. Did you just now arrive?
That's right. Name's Lone Carter, private investigator. We're here at the express request of the professor.
There are matters here that require our services.
You've come at a terrible time for us.
It seems that way.
Bring us up to speed, Doctor.
These two gentlemen passed without any known cause. I can't imagine any valid reason for them to have died.
Can we help out somehow? As far as I know, we won't be departing immediately.
It takes at least a day for such preparations to be made.
If Lake doesn't mind, you're more than welcome. But I don't imagine you have any medical expertise.
They don't. But I could probably help you.
Henry? Is that really you?
Apparently.
Okay.
Let's get to work.
But are you all right?
Better than you could ever expect. Gentlemen,
Du weißt doch
I'll be
bestimmt.
with you as soon as I'm done here.
Doctor, could you join me briefly in my tent to fill in some final details so we can get the bodies back to their families?
Of course. After you.
We take our leave, gentlemen. Let us know if you find anything further.
You too, gentlemen. Leave me alone for a while. I must focus. And if they have not found any apparent cause of death, I'm sure I can figure out why not.
Be that as it may, Henry. This is not what we're here for. Don't spend too much time on this.
See you later, Henry.
Lass die Leichen dich nicht anspringen. Oder was auch immer da noch vielleicht drin ist. Oh, wir sind. Erklär, was haben wir denn für einen Staub? Schamanischer Extrakt. Machen wir gleich. Wir haben hier Gläser.
They look like physiological solutions. I don't need that. These must be their medical records. Let's have a better look at it. Sven Usteler and Jean-Paul Greco. Blah, blah, blah. Both of them were workers here at the camp. It says it's impossible to determine the time of death. Strange. All internal organs are intact. There are no cardiac pathologies or other evidence to suggest any bleeding out. Tests for known toxins have excluded all as causative factors. Recommended quarantine of all crew due to possible contamination by unknown pathogen. This is where the doctor's ability to analyze all this comes to an end. And on closer inspection, if this data is correct, then these men should still be alive. It seems to be blowing things out of proportion to impose a quarantine. If that were the case, they would all be dead already. Besides, medical appraisal is limited only to what physical examination can observe. I'll take care of the rest.
Aber wenn alle Organe okay sind, sollten die nicht aufgeschnitten sein? Na gut, wer weiß, sind sie vielleicht.
Not necessary. A rag of some... A first aid kit.
Ich glaube, der nimmt die Medikamente lieber
Not
selber.
necessary.
Noch nicht.
Looks pretty worthless. I don't know what it contains, and I don't have time to check. Contains something.
Gut, dann speichern wir erstmal. Und schauen uns die mal
That
an.
must be Jean-Paul. That must be Sven.
Gucken uns die vielleicht selber an, dass es möglich ist.
He appears to almost be alive. It sends a shiver down my spine. Okay, buddy. I'll try not to bother you too much. Please don't wake up on me. How would I use that? There's a marking here that looks like a mole. There's something strange about it. I wonder if Sven has one as well.
Gucken uns trotzdem mal
No
was
need
dran.
to... The sternum looks intact.
And Harry.
Nothing unusual. Nothing out of... The flesh still has a semblance of life.
Aber dieses Muttermal wäre doch aufgefallen, oder?
Hard to tell. No reason. I see nothing. The eyes of a corpse are one of the few things that still sends a shiver down my spine. Which seems absurd, given all I've witnessed. I don't feel like... The eyes of a corpse... Which seems... It's unlikely. Unless it had a... It's unlikely his forehead could tell me much about the... Unless it had a...
Außer es hätte...
There appears to have been no blood clotting.
Kann es sein, dass die einfach noch lebendig sind und die jetzt bei lebendigem Leibe obduziert wurden? Kickstarter Stalker Achievement. Entdecke alle. Okay.
How would I use that?
Ja, das ist auch so ein Mal.
I don't feel like touching it. This confirms my theory. A transmigration ritual. Some religions might interpret it as the tearing out of a soul, but it would be more correct to call it an essence. I never thought a ritual could be used this way. For murder! This mark on Sven's body is almost faded away. I might be able to learn something more from Jean-Paul. Who knows where this poor fellow might be now? I imagine hell would be more pleasant. Floating aimlessly through time and space, most likely for eternity. How barbaric! By diluting some of the powder I have on me, I might be able to learn more from him. But not from Sven. There's not enough left of what he once was. His essence could be anywhere by now, in any place or dimension. No need. Fleshy and pinkish. The muscles have not yet atrophied. He certainly didn't die of a broken neck. I observe no damage. Nothing unusual. I observe no... Seems... Surely he wasn't... The eyes of a corpse are one of the few... Which seems absurd, given all... Everything is in... Nothing of in...
Ich soll etwas verdünnen. Kann man das verdünnen vielleicht bei den Gläsern? Mit den Gläsern? Nein. Kann man das mit der Vase verdünnen? Okay, wir gucken uns nochmal sein Body an.
It must be diluted. It needs to be poured into the mouth.
Okay, wir brauchen also irgendwie Gläser.
I don't need that.
Wir brauchen dieses Glas.
Contains something, but nothing of interest to me right now.
Wir brauchen irgendwelche
Not
Gläser.
necessary.
Ich brauche Glas.
I don't need...
Hier.
There is just what I need. Some diluent.
Aber Verdünnungsmittel ist nicht das Verdünnungsmittel, was wir normalerweise denken,
A
oder?
not very powerful diluent.
Ich glaube medizinisch gemeint, nicht zum Malen. Oder zum Entfernen.
This should do the job.
So, das soll in den Mund hineingehen.
That's done it.
Where am I? I'm cold. I can't see. I'm scared.
Sagen Sie mir, was Sie... Oh Gott, das wackeln. Sagen Sie mir, was Sie sehen. Was haben wir noch?
Tell me what you see.
Everything's pitch black. I can't see anything. My legs, my arms. I can't feel anything.
Sehr gut. Na, da musste er nicht fühlen, wie er bei lebendigem Leibe auseinandergenommen wurde, wenn da wirklich Organe untersucht wurden. Beruhigen Sie sich. Das wird alles bald vorbei sein.
Calm down. This will all be over soon.
What will be over soon? What's happening to me?
Stay calm. It's just a dream.
That's a relief. I sure hope I wake up soon.
I'm sure you will.
Who are you?
Wir lügen.
I'm John. Do you remember me?
Yes, of course, John. Why on earth would I be dreaming about you? It seems a lifetime ago since I last saw you.
Das ist echt unangenehm, dieses Wackeln.
What happened to you?
I don't know. I was in my quarters. I must have fallen asleep.
Jean-Paul, was there anyone who wished you harm? Anyone who bore a grudge against you?
No. I may not exactly have led a blameless life, but the people I know have always been fond of me. What a strange question to be asked in a dream.
Jean-Paul, I cannot continue lying to you. I'm very sorry to have to tell you this, but you're dead. Somebody murdered you and your friend Sven.
Dead? I thought this felt too strange to be a mere dream.
Sadly, there is nothing I can do to fix this. But I can help you take revenge on the culprit.
Wir
A
geben
small
alles auf.
consolation, but at least it's something.
Small indeed. God knows how poor Mary would take the news. I have not been the best of husbands. If you could maybe tell her sorry from me?
Of course. I will do that.
I still can't imagine who would want us dead. Unless, could it have been because of that thing?
Anything you can tell us could prove vital.
It's something Sven and I found. What? What is that thing?
Jean-Paul, stay with me!
Help! Oh my god!
Jean-Paul, calm down.
Oh my god! Oh!
Jean-Paul? Jean-Paul! He's gone. Poor soul. But we'll find that bastard for you. That's a promise.
I must inform the others immediately.
Interessant, dass er das Lügen gleich aufgegeben hat. Ich dachte, wir können damit beruhigen und einfach
So,
normaler reden.
what have you found out?
You really can die from the cold out here.
As I expected. No need to go into great detail. They seem to have found some artifact, but I lost connection before I could find out what it is.
Excuse me, Henry, but how do you know they found something? What the hell were you up to in there?
Yep.
Gentlemen, they were killed by ritual magic. Extremely cruel ritual magic. I'm quite familiar with such things, as you probably know by now.
I had no idea such things could go this far. When we get back, you and I should have a long chat, if that's all right with you.
William, you are still but an infant compared to myself. Are you certain you want to pay the price for such knowledge?
Gentlemen, this talk of yours about necromancy is most entertaining, but if there really is a killer on the loose around here, we are all in immediate danger. We must investigate further.
Agreed. There'll be time for small talk later.
So that we don't appear to be completely insane, we should avoid speaking of how we came to know all this.
I can deceive them by telling them it was some kind of poison unknown to modern medicine. The doctor may have objections, but he will believe me in the end. He has followed my studies closely and knows that I don't make idle claims.
We should avoid mentioning that they found something, at least until hard evidence comes to light. They would question how we knew all this.
That goes without saying.
Okay, sie übernehmen die und wir können uns wieder bewegen. Sehr gut. Das ist doch ein super Ort, um mal die Folge zu beenden. Das Achievement mit diesen Kickstartern, denke ich mal, lag an den Gesichtern. Wahrscheinlich die paar in der Irrenanstalt und jetzt eben diese beiden Toten waren bestimmt irgendwelche Kickstarter-Ziele gewesen, wo man dann sein eigenes Gesicht hätte verewigen können. Weil Mountains of Madness ist über eine Kickstarter-Kampagne entstanden, wie schon Svetikota. Also, mal sehen, was da noch so rauskommt. Auf jeden Fall sehr interessant mit diesem schamanistischen Ritual, dass die Seele da weggeschleppt wurde. Mit diesem kleinen Einstich, oder wo es rausgeholt wurde halt. Schauen wir dann mal nach, wer dafür verantwortlich war. Nun gut, ich glaube, damit sind wir am Ende. Jetzt glaube ich, das müsste Folge 9 sein. Wenn ich anders geschnitten habe, vielleicht Folge 10, wer weiß. Und demnach geht es jetzt schon länger als der erste Teil, was ich sehr begrüße. Aber mal schauen, wie lange noch. Kann ich gar nicht abschätzen, aber ich denke mal noch so 2, 3 Folgen maximal. Das wär's und bis demnächst, euer Landitor. Tschüss.